Hi, this is Vicki Mackey with the Verger's Guild Nomination Committee, and I'm here this morning with Diane Carlisle, who is our final candidate and is also a current member of the board. She is also an eligible candidate running again for the board of directors in September. Good morning, Diane, and welcome.
Good morning, Vicki. Thank you.
Let's get started with asking a few questions so that we may get to know you a little better. Our first question is, what do you feel is the Verger's role in bringing people back to the church from the pandemic?
That's a great question. So I believe, and I've always believed, that our primary role as Vergers is to serve our rector or vicar or priest in charge in any way that he or she needs. And ours is a servant ministry. And it's, written on our shield in Latin, which I will not attempt to say, but it says service and worship through service. And so ours is a ministry of hospitality. So we want to help people feel comfortable as they re-enter our churches and cathedrals. That's paramount. Each parish will have their own rules and follow their own local COVID guidelines and those rules from their bishop. And our job is to make people feel comfortable that we're following those guidelines as we welcome people back into our worship spaces.
How do you see your duties as a verger in the future?
So I don't see much change. I was fortunate during the pandemic to be able to continue as verger at my church for our live stream services. And I know that's not the case for all vergers. Some became masters of the live stream. And unfortunately, a lot were not able to serve their beloved churches in this time of pandemic because their churches were closed. And so as we emerge from this pandemic, I think that we want to make sure that the guidelines are followed by our bishop, that are set forth by our bishop, our governor, and those sorts of things. And I will continue to do that. And I think as other vergers come back from the pandemic, that they'll be able to do that too. I want to help people re-engage in worship, either through serving through one of our worship ministries or by worshiping in the pews. All of our numbers probably have dwindled quite a bit. I know ours have. And we just want to share our love of God and our glorifying God through worship as much as possible. So I still consider that my paramount role.
What do you consider are your best assets and skills that you would bring to the board?
So that's a great question. The answer for most people probably needs to be, I'm really adept at technology and I can do all these things with technology. My answer is I'm a quick learner. And so anything that I'm able to learn, I'll learn it quickly and use it. I'm a very collaborative person. I'm innovative when the need arises. I'm organized. I can keep more than one ball in the air. Not literally juggling, but figuratively juggling. I can do that. And as the vice president this past year, I continued the work of my predecessor in planning for our in-person conferences, which, God willing, will happen starting again in 2022. I've served on many boards, including twice on our vestry, once as senior warden, and I'm a team player. And I think, regardless of skills you bring into a board, as long as you're willing to work with people and be a energetic part of the board, I think that's what is super, super important. All these other skills are important, but the collaborativeness is probably the biggest.
What is your favorite anecdote?
Vicki, for me, this was the hardest question. So I have not missed a single conference since joining the Guild in late 2010. Each conference is memorable, including, I remember being in Cleveland and eating with our hands in the cathedral during a medieval feast, and
Yes.
watching a camel and a kangaroo being blessed at the blessing of the animals, a parade in our honor in Burlington, and even a thurible lighting contest. I forget who won. So when I had to narrow it down, I really thought about what is it that really brings our ministry of Vergers into the forefront. And it happened in Nashville, at the Nashville conference. And during the blessing of the pets, after all the exotic animals had been blessed, then the service went on, and the lector came forward to do the reading. John Whitaker verged her to the lectern, and she had her little corgi on a leash. And she got up to the lectern, turned around, gave him the corgi leash, and went up there to read. And I have a beautiful picture of John standing as still as a statue with this gorgeous corgi at his feet. He never blinked. He just was the quintessential verger. He was ready for everything. And I love that memory. And I asked John if I could share that, and he said yes. So
that's wonderful, wonderful, wonderful memory. Okay, well, thank you, Diane, for taking the time to participate in the interview and to run again for the board and letting us get to know you more. Thank you, everyone, for watching our interviews of the candidates. We will be sharing and posting more information in the next few days about the conference and the election process for the board. We look forward to seeing you soon at the Verger's virtual conference. Go in peace to love and serve the Lord.